Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson will be with us later on for the weather. I'm Jefferson Robbins. We've got a lot of news this Friday before Labor Day, but before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window here in the Wenatchee Valley. Today's our view from the cross cam looking north upriver on the mighty Columbia. You can see quite a bit of haze coming from the major wildfires we're seeing in the surrounding regions. We'll have some news about those fire incidents coming up a little bit later on. Pretty hot today and getting hotter. The likelihood of that is to continue through the weekend. Grant will have your full forecast, but in the meantime, do be cautious about the use of fires outdoors during your Labor Day festivities. All the authorities are warning us that the fire danger is quite high this weekend, and the potential for winds may come along as well. We all know what that means when there is a fire situation. Blowing dust, increased fire danger, and rough lakes if you're out on the water. So do exercise some caution. Try to have a safe and fun Labor Day weekend. But now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The man who threatened Washington sheriffs over their reluctance to enforce a new state gun law is likely to receive just 5 years on probation. The effort to gather more information about coronavirus in Chelan and Douglas counties needs your volunteer help. And the luckiest drunk driver in Soap Lake meets his city's police chief on the way home. But first, we begin tonight in Orondo, where a Cashmere woman and 2 children were treated for injuries Thursday after a rear-end collision with a semi-truck. The Washington State Patrol says 57-year-old Tamara Bailiff was driving south on Highway 97 near Bray's Landing Road just before 11 o'clock in the morning when she failed to stop for a semi and a pickup truck. Both of those vehicles had paused for another vehicle making a left turn. Bailiff's Lincoln sedan missed the pickup but struck a guardrail and then hit the stopped semi. Orondo Fire Chief Jim Odie said rescuers had to extricate one occupant from the Lincoln. Bailiff and 2 children on board, who were 2 and 3 years old, were taken to Central Washington Hospital. No one in the other vehicles was injured. Well, the Omak man who threatened Washington sheriffs over the state's new firearms law is likely to receive federal probation. 24-year-old Jaden Ledford is due to be sentenced next week in U.S. District Court in Spokane. In 2019, he made threats on Facebook to Spokane County Sheriff Ozzie Knezevich and other sheriffs who questioned the legality of I-1639, the voter-approved law that expanded background checks and created other mandates for firearms purchases. Ledford pleaded guilty in February to 1 count of making threats by interstate communication. He could face up to 5 years in prison, but his attorney says Ledford lives with mental health and disability issues that would make him vulnerable during incarceration. Federal prosecutors agreed and also recommended probation. His sentencing is scheduled for Wednesday. Well, the Chelan-Douglas Health District is seeking your help as it moves community-wide COVID-19 testing efforts to Peshastin and Dryden. The district is looking for community members to help canvass neighborhoods, sharing information about the virus and the upcoming testing efforts. Volunteers will be compensated for their time and given a lunch. Peshastin and Dryden are the latest towns targeted after previous testing efforts in Chelan, Manson, Bridgeport, and Rock Island and Leavenworth, where testing is wrapping up today. 2 more deaths in the Wenatchee Valley were attributed this week to COVID-19. One was a woman in her 60s living in Douglas County, the other a woman in her 70s from Chelan County. 18 people in the 2 counties are known to have lost their lives to this virus so far. Although the Palmer fire south of Oroville is mostly contained, fire managers say it is likely to continue burning and creating smoke until fall rains in October or November. The fire has burned almost 18,000 acres since starting on August 18th. Steve Young of the Department of Natural Resources gave the incident management teams a final briefing on the fire Thursday.
My name is Steve Young. I'm the Fire Operations Manager for the Washington State Department of Natural Resources and also the IC3 trainee on the Palmer incident. Going to give you a little brief overview of the past on the fire into where we're at now. The fire started on August 18th here on the southern edge of the fire. Made a progression to the north. The lines you see inside here are the first containment lines that we put in trying to stop the fire for its progression to Loomis. Over the coming days, the fire progressed further north into the Bullfrog Mountain area. As of right now, the fire consumed 17,988 acres. We transitioned to a Type 3 team back on August 30th, And pretty much what we're doing with the Type 3 team is finishing up all the mop-up that we have and then starting into suppression repair. Suppression repair is going in and doing any rehabilitation on all the lines that we put in our control lines. So we're using crews, bulldozers, and we will be going in with excavators, and we are putting in water bars, knocking down berms, and re-establishing all the debris that was taken off the lines or getting put back on them. Those are going to be going on for a while still, and into probably close to into October, November, when we get significant rains where we can actually complete all of our repairs that we need to.
And coming up next, the Evans Canyon fire has grown larger and demanded more state resources to fight it. And the State Department of Corrections says it's doing all it can to keep a lid on coronavirus in Washington's prisons. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Don't worry, all the fun is around the corner. There's no better time to get ready than now with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa Sale. Stock Up and Save sale is now going on in-store and online at BlueLagoonPoolandSpa.com. Even pool heaters are on sale. Financing available upon approval. Credit 24-month, no interest with equal payments. Stop by today or order online at BlueLagoonPoolandSpa.com. Free water testing available in-store or curbside. Don't wait, the sale is going on now.
And welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. While driving home after his shift on Tuesday night, Soap Lake Police Chief Ryan Cox says he spotted a vehicle traveling more than 80 miles an hour on Highway 28 just east of Road B Northwest. Cox says the 26-year-old driver tested at more than twice the legal limit for drunken driving. There was also extensive damage to the man's vehicle. But Cox said the driver claimed not to know anything about the damage. The chief put out a call for the public's help, and he got it later that night when a witness said he saw a vehicle blow through the intersection of Alder Street Northwest and Highway 28. There, officers found skid marks showing the car had taken a perilous journey across the highway and down an embankment before resurfacing on the highway, narrowly avoiding a steep descent into the ditch. That's one lucky fella. Firefighters gained their first bit of control Thursday night over the state's largest wildfire, the Evans Canyon Fire, burning northwest of Natchez in Yakima County. The fire has consumed almost 70,000 acres and burned at least 5 homes and led to widespread Level 3 evacuation notices since it started on Monday. The incident management team on the fire reported Thursday they had achieved 10% containment as 734 fire personnel have been dedicated to the fire. Burnout operations have added to the smoke from the fire, some of which has drifted into the Wenatchee Valley. Well, 3 people have died and 449 people have been infected with COVID-19 in Washington's prisons since the outbreak began last winter. The deaths include 2 prisoners and 1 correctional worker. But in a Wednesday news conference, Department of Corrections Secretary Stephen Sinclair said the state is in the lowest 1/3 of total COVID cases among prison systems nationwide.
We hope to slide even farther down that curve. But actually, that makes me proud of the agency and the response to date. And we haven't been perfect, but we've learned a lot along the way. We've been responsive and been willing to adapt. So here's another look at the national data. So DOC ranks 35th out of 50 states when it comes to percent of incarcerated population positive for COVID. So it's a little different look at the number. It's not the high watermark, it's currently positive number. As again, you can see that we're doing okay. So here's the most unfortunate slide. And what this reflects is percent of mortality of all 38 states that have reported on this. And so we ranked 26 in this based on the 2 mortalities that did occur at the Coyote Ridge Correction Center. Incredibly unfortunate, kind of sent ripple effects throughout the agency because we have been fighting really, really hard to prevent any COVID deaths in the system, just like we are outbreaks. Unfortunately, when we know that there are going to be additional outbreaks, our goal is to be quick and responsive to those outbreaks with effective protocols.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, the Catholic Church in the Upper Wenatchee Valley prepares for a new church center that will unite 2 parishes. That plus weather and sports still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
I have fiber at home because it allows me to do a great job in my profession. It allows me to learn things that I need to learn at home. It allows my kids to hopefully one day be able to be educated because of what they learned online and what they learned from their teachers. And it allows us to have fun too as a family. And we're able to do a lot of things because of fiber internet. I'm Rudy, and my family learns with fiber.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The Upper Wenatchee Valley took a ceremonial step last weekend toward the creation of a new Catholic church center. Our Lady of the Assumption Parish is currently divided between 2 church buildings, one in Cashmere and one in Leavenworth. A new church center near Dryden is planned to bring hundreds of parishioners under one roof. A windy groundbreaking ceremony on the Dryden property took place on Saturday.
Our own history in the Upper Valley brings us to this moment and is built upon the dreams and efforts of several previous pastors and multiple generations of parishioners. I'm grateful to my predecessors who have been incredibly supportive of this project. I'm also thankful to the generosity and sacrifice that so many of you have made. God has blessed us through you. Looking ahead, we continue to rely upon your support and the blessing of God as we move to the next step of building the house of God and the gate to heaven.
You had a beautiful ritual today, no? Of really saying goodbye to St. Francis in Cashmere and Our Lady of the Snows in Leavenworth. There is no going back. But what you are about is building anew. Not going back, but building up. Not restoring, but resurrecting. Your building project is about the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is about witnessing the risen body in the Upper Wenatchee Valley. That's what we're blessing. We're calling God's blessing that we can point to the resurrected body, that we realize there is no going back, as grateful as we are for the heritage of believers in the Upper Valley. but there is a going forward, a growing up, a growing forward, lifting our eyes to the ascension of Christ, lifting our eyes to the Assumption of Our Lady.
Now it's over to Grant Olson for a look at this long weekend's weather forecast. Grant?
And thank you very much, Jefferson. Time now for a check of that north central Washington weather forecast. But as always, let's take a look outside our weather window. And what a day today. Temperatures well above normal throughout north central Washington. But we did see plenty of that haze around, and that's from that Evans Canyon fire burning down in the Yakima area. At last check, over 57,000 acres and only about 10% contained. So that did provide some smoke and some haze out there this afternoon, but didn't keep our temperatures down all that much. We thought we might get to about 97 degrees today, but with that haze, it kept us down. We'll get to that in a second. This weekend, it's going to be a little bit breezy, so we are watching for weekend fire safety. Allow those charcoal and gas grills to be fully out and covered if you are using those camping. Remember, no fires are allowed right now. We are so dry. Keep vehicles off that dry grass, obey those burn bans, and that pretty much goes for all of us, and especially be careful with those cigarette butts. Hot and dry throughout the weekend, and then some changes as we get into your Labor Day Monday. It's going to be ushered in, those changes, with wind first on Labor Day. We could see some blowing dust and increased fire danger. We just talked about that. Hot temperatures, low humidities, and high wind. It could be dangerous out there. And if you are boating this weekend, Labor Day might not be your best day because we expect winds between 15 and 25 miles an hour. We'll get to all those details in a second. But here's that almanac. Today's unofficial high temperature, 95. We almost got to that record of 97 that was set back in 1988. But look at that, well above 81 for this time of year, so 14 degrees above normal. We started at 61 this morning. 56 is our normal low. Sunrise this morning, 6:24, and the sun will set tonight at 7:34. Let's take a peek at that Saturday forecast now as we get into this long Labor Day weekend. Tomorrow's going to be a beauty too, and a lot like today. We could see some more of that widespread haze around the area. Not as bad as today though. 97 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 96 in Quincy, 95 for a high in Wenatchee tomorrow, as well as Aniat, Chelan 96. Our warm spot, you folks up in Okanagan County and Omak, you'll see about 98 degrees. Surface loop now. Let's take you through the next 7 days. Tonight, widespread haze and smoke. That's what this gray is right here. So we are kind of on the edge of that smoke. Spokane, Tri-City is going to see a lot of smoke with mild overnight temperatures tonight, probably into the mid and upper 60s. For Saturday, sunshine, just a little bit breezy. You can see the red right there. Talking winds about 10 miles an hour for Saturday. It will be hot once again. As we just showed you, high temperatures about 95 degrees. You can see that all over eastern Washington. For Sunday, just a little bit breezier. Now we're talking winds more 15 miles an hour for Sunday. We are going to stay on the hot side though, with temperatures again well above normal into our Labor Day weekend, with highs in the lower to mid 90s. For your Labor Day Monday, it's just going to be downright windy. Look at all of the wind to our south. We could see winds here about 15 to 25 miles an hour. Much cooler too on Monday. We will struggle just to see about 84 or 85 degrees. For Tuesday, even cooler. In fact, some weather models are only showing us about 76 for Tuesday. I think we'll be a little bit warmer than that, probably near 80 degrees. And then things will warm up again as we get into your Wednesday forecast. Lots of sunshine all across the western and parts of central United States. We will see temperatures warming up between the middle and upper 80s as we get into Wednesday. And then for Thursday, the final day of our 7-day forecast, even warmer. We'll see lots of sunshine. Temperatures will creep back into those upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. 68 the overnight low tonight, so quite a bit warmer than that 61 this morning. Breezy, high temperatures for your Saturday at 95. 92 Sunday, still a little bit breezy. And then for Monday, just downright windy with sunshine. Cooler too at 85. For Tuesday, sunny and cooler and 80. And then we'll start that slow warm up once again by Hump Day Wednesday, sunshine and 87. And for Thursday, sunshine and 91 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And we come back, we'll have Eric Granstrom with sports and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
From the ocean to the mountains to the forest in between, vacation time can be a fun time. But not if your car breaks down. Call Global Car Care today. Have a service approved over $150 on your vehicle, and Global Car Care will donate an oil change service to one of our local heroes at Confluence Health. Look for more incentives online. Global Car Care cares about their community.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy finally Friday. Hope you're ready for the Labor Day weekend. I know I am for sure. Now, black shirt again today. I've got 3 of these, so don't worry about it. We continue our week of sports tonight here with high school football on the NCWLIFE channel. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if we were doing it live? We'll feature last year's matchup between the Eastmont Wildcats and Pasco Bulldogs from Wildcat Stadium. Kick off our coverage at 6:30. Saturday, we'll feature last September's first meeting of Eastmont and Wenatchee in girls soccer at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. That's Saturday at 2. Then a rebroadcast of Johnson Electric 9 at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. That starts at 6 o'clock. On Sunday, it's girls soccer between Eastmont and Davis at 2. That'll be followed by volleyball, Eastmont and Moses Lake at 7 o'clock. While we're talking about the Super Oval, the next race at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval is the Ron Bershauer 100, presented by Jerry's Auto Supply. According to WVSO manager Jeremy Anders, a huge field of pro late models is expected to race. In addition, they'll have the Shepherd's Oil Wenatchee Legends Cup for Tri-State Legends, the Mountain Dew Junior Late Models, the Bandoleros, and the Plum Perfect Roadrunners. We're going to start a little early with our coverage a week from tomorrow, 5:30 live on Facebook, then join the coverage live on TV at 6 o'clock. That's all next Saturday, September 12th. Greg, make that Grant Olson and Greg Rentz will have your play-by-play right here on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. Mariners back at it tonight at T-Mobile Park. First of 4 games against the Texas Rangers. Of course, their series with Oakland was COVID out. Texas going to give Kyle Cody his first Major League start tonight. Seattle still trying to figure out who they're going to put on the mound. First pitch coming up at 6:10. Root Sports is a place to watch it, or you can listen to it locally on ESPN AM 900. Well, the Seahawks have re-signed wide receiver Josh Gordon, even though he's still suspended. The 9-year pro was suspended for the 6th time by the NFL last season for performance-enhancing drugs and substances of abuse. He applied for reinstatement with the league back in June. The move by the Seahawks could be a sign that Philip Dorsett's foot injury might be a little more than first thought. Seattle also signed Paul Richardson a week ago. Well, meanwhile, on the field, Seattle is hoping Trey Flowers will continue his development in the defensive backfield. The third-year player started 15 games for the Hawks last season, coming up with 3 interceptions and a couple of sacks. He was also beat deep several times and says he hopes to learn from his mistakes.
I went back and watched all the plays, of course, and the plays I hate the most aren't the ones where, like, bang-bang plays, are the ones where I second-guess myself. I did that a lot last year. I knew a play, and I could have went for it, but I played it safe. So that's one thing I focused on this year. Just cutting it loose, and really when I know I go. And I don't really remember your first part. Oh, the Green Bay game. Yeah, I don't even really remember. I just like I said, I just go at it every day. It made me really attack every day this offseason. Knowing that was my last game going off my second year, it bothered me, but it fueled me too. So I'm all good.
Flowers in the offseason worked with fellow cornerback Shaq Griffin to try to improve for this season. Closer to the line of scrimmage, rookie first-round draft pick Jordan Brooks continues working in at linebacker. He says he's been watching the likes of Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright on how to be a professional and take care of himself.
I think just watching those guys, I'm not just blowing smoke when I say that they're the first in and last out. Something I observed from the first day I got here. Those guys are the first guys in the building, Bobby and KJ. So I guess just learn how to be a professional and take care of your body. Our body is our ticket, you know what I'm saying? So we got to take care of that first to be able to perform. So that's the biggest thing that I've learned so far is just being smart, with injuries, anything that's going on, get treatment, get massages, and make sure you're fully healthy to go out there and perform.
Now on the offensive line, rookie guard Damien Lewis has impressed from the moment he arrived in camp. The third-round draft pick out of LSU says his college coaches and competition there prepared him for the next step into the NFL.
I feel good, The guys made me real comfortable, Coach Pete, the offensive lineman, just getting a good feel of the whole place, just everything just come natural with me. I feel like that LSU did a great job with me, preparing me well, playing against tough teams in the SEC, some of those guys that I played last year, with some draft pick, big top round draft picks. So I feel like that LSU did real good with me, just before just competing and, just putting my head out there and just battling every day. So, it's just a transition over and just doing the same thing over.
Now, the schedule right now, provided there's no somebody saying they're not going to play or something like that, Seattle travels to Atlanta for the first game of the season a week from Sunday with a 10 a.m. kickoff. The NFL season gets underway Thursday in Kansas City, where the defending Super Bowl champs will host the Houston Texans. At least that's the plan right now. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Jefferson, back to you.
Eric, thank you so much. Finally from us, if you're up real early on the first day of your 3-day weekend, and why wouldn't you be? There's a new chance to see the International Space Station as it zooms by in the northeastern sky. The website spacestationfinder.com tracks the movement of this human-made satellite, and for just 1 minute, starting at 4:16 a.m. tomorrow, the station should be visible from Wenatchee. You've got nothing else going on until Tuesday, so why not take a look? And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can email us, news@NCWLIFE.com, or give us a call, 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. There'll be no newscast on Labor Day, but we'll see you back here on Tuesday for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and our evening newscast. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.